Thanks for joining us. We at First Presbyterian practice what we call a spacious Christianity, where we remind each other of our essential goodness, because it's so easy to forget that in this world, where all are welcome and diversity is celebrated, where doubts and questions are a gift that lead us into deeper conversations, where vulnerability is a strength and your tears are holy, where we encourage each other to live the spacious and radical love of Jesus so that all might have a chance to flourish in this world. It is our hope that here you will find space to breathe, a faith to believe in, and a God who believes in you. Welcome.
We often think spirituality is waiting until some future date, when our lives are less of a mess, when the problems are overcome and the conflict is resolved. We long for the day when our fear and anxiety are quieted, when our doubts, uncertainties, and questions have answers, when our bodies ache less, and when our pain and grief soften. When life is hard, impossibly hard, it doesn't mean you are doing something wrong or there's something wrong with you. It means life is hard and you are human. Jesus said, "Are you tired, worn out, carrying heavy burdens? I will show you how to get real rest." So today we remember that even in the actual days we live, we are safe, we are held, we are loved, we are blessed, and we are not alone.
You give life, you are love, you bring light to the darkness, you give hope, you restore every heart that is broken, and great are you, Lord. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, we pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. You give
By morning, I am becoming new. Oh, and morning, by morning, by morning, I am finding my truth, and I stand as the day closes dark on my face. Oh, I stand and I wait here with you as I'm becoming new. Morning, by morning, by morning, we are becoming new. Oh, and morning, by morning, by morning, we are finding our truth, and we stand as the day closes dark on our face. Oh, we stand and we wait here with you as we're becoming new. Come and make us new. Come and make us new. Come and make us new. Come and make us. Come and make us new. Come and make us new. Come and make us new. As we're becoming.
We're no longer required to wear masks. I'm concerned that we continue to mask our grief, pain, and suffering. Anxiety and depression continues to rise dramatically. As Richard Rohr says, pain that is not transformed continues to get transmitted. Life is unfair and heartbreaking, and most hearts have jagged edges. Everyone you meet is silently suffering in some way, longing for a soft place to land, a safe place to tell their story. For all of you who love trivia contests, what is the shortest sentence in the Bible? That's right, Jesus wept. Jesus wept, reminding us we are never alone in our pain and suffering. What we hold most in common is not our strength, but our vulnerability, our tears. Washington Irving wrote, "There is sacredness in tears. Tears are not the mark of weakness, but of power. They speak more eloquently than 10,000 tongues. Tears are messengers of overwhelming grief and unspeakable love." I was at a funeral where the minister said, "There should be no tears today because your loved one is in a better place." I so wanted to stand up and shout, "No, no, 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 cry, weep, laugh. It all belongs." Tears are sacred. Tears are an expression of your love. Please be like Jesus. Weep. You'll be pleased to know I behaved myself, and I sat in my pew quietly, cringing. In that service, we sang the song, you know the one, "Our God is an awesome God." And I grieve for those who were sitting in the pews, who were feeling in that moment that their God wasn't so awesome. Don't be afraid of tears. Be afraid when our hearts have become so calloused, defended, protected, that we have no tears to cry. We put Kleenex boxes in every single pew in our sanctuary as a way of saying your real self, your whole self is welcome here. Your grief is welcome here. Your tears are welcome here. Jesus wept, and it's okay for you to weep too. I don't need one more place in my life where you have to wear a mask pretending everything's okay, where you have to prove something or impress someone. The Kleenex boxes are a way of saying, you are never alone in your tears. Which brings me back to the shortest sentence in the Bible. Jesus wept. Why did Jesus weep? Besides his disciples, Jesus had three very, very close friends, two sisters, Martha and Mary, and their brother Lazarus. The three siblings lived together in a house in the village of Bethany, which was just 2 miles outside of Jerusalem. As Jesus neared the end of his life, he stays with these close friends every single night until the last one, the day he died. There's a lot of literature about how difficult it is for men to have honest, vulnerable, authentic friendships and relationships. Lazarus was a true friend of Jesus. So Martha and Mary send word to Jesus. Lazarus, the one you love, is sick. Jesus doesn't go at once. He knows if he goes to Jerusalem, he will likely be arrested and killed. By the time Jesus arrives, Lazarus has died. Mary and Martha are heartbroken. They're angry, asking Jesus, what took you so long? Lazarus is already dead. You could have saved him. It says when Jesus saw Mary weeping, Jesus was greatly disturbed in spirit, deeply moved. He said, "Show me where he is buried." And they said to him, "Lord, come and see." Jesus wept. Jesus wept. Jesus knew there was a part of the story that Martha and Mary didn't understand yet. Jesus knew that death would not be the final word for Lazarus, as death is never the final word for any one of us. Jesus would say to Lazarus, "Lazarus, come out." And Lazarus walked out, grave clothes and all, blinking in the bright midday sun. Now Jesus knew that death would not have the final word. but he still weeps. I mean, we may deeply trust, we may have the faith that death is not the final word, but it doesn't erase our pain. Jesus weeps with Martha and Mary. He shares their tears. He allows them to ask their tough questions. He allows them to express their anger. Jesus knows there is a love stronger than death, but he also knows their pain is real. Their tears are holy. Their grief is a deep expression of their love. Jesus wept, essentially saying, I see you. I see your pain. I see your broken heart. I see your grief. I'm with you. I mean, think about the times that you've experienced loss, grief, and heartbreak. And someone tries to help by offering pious platitudes like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Or when God closes a door, God always opens a window. Those kind of statements make you want to find that window and push people out of it. When people try to cheer you up, it's usually about their own discomfort with the dark. When life hurts, we don't need pious platitudes. Now imagine someone giving you space to be brutally honest, allowing your tears to flow, giving your space for your anger to be expressed without judgment. Which is more healing? Each person's grief and pain is as unique as their own fingerprint. What everyone has in common is that no matter how we grieve, we all share a need for our grief to be witnessed and validated. Research in neuroscience has revealed that the part of the brain that's impacted most by life's trauma and grief, begins to heal when we have soft places to land, safe spaces to weep and tell our story. As followers of Jesus, I can't think of a more important calling than to be a soft place to land, to be a safe space for people to weep and tell their story. This past weekend marked the 4th anniversary of when my wife Lori spent a month in the ICU fighting for her life. Lori and our family continue to heal, and it really helps to tell the story. One night, they wanted to take Lori off the ventilator to see how she would do. She went downhill quickly. At about 3 a.m., the doctor said to me, if we don't re-intubate her and put her back on the ventilator right now, she will die. He spoke those harrowing words like he was reading from a Sears catalog. They re-intubated her, but her heart stopped, and they had to revive her. I sat alone outside the room in the hallway, feeling like my already brittle heart was hurled against the wall, shattered into 1,000 pieces, scattered across the floor. A nurse whose name I don't even know came and sat beside me. He placed in my shaking hands a cup of cold water. I mean, tears were just streaming down my face. He placed his arms around my shoulders, not knowing that he was holding up my very being in that moment. Not a word was spoken. I glanced at him and saw tears on his cheek. Those tears spoke a language my heart understood. His tenderness gathered the pieces of my heart and glued them back together again. a cup of cold water, shared tears from someone whose name I didn't even know, gave me back my heart so that I could go back into that room and be the presence of love that I desired to be for my wife. Jesus weeps with us, gives us the gift of one another to gather the pieces of our hearts and glue them back together again. See this picture? This elderly woman is a widow, and she lives on her own. She goes to the supermarket every single day to read books, and mostly not to feel so alone. The manager of the store put a couch there for her to sit on. And on his breaks, he sits with her. This is the world that I want to live in. Sometimes miracles in this heartbreaking world are simply good people like you, with kind hearts who show up and hold space for tears, and who, like Jesus, are willing to weep with those who weep. Someone is praying for a miracle right now. You can be that miracle. Someone is barely hanging by a thread. You can be that thread. The healing for broken hearts in a heartbreaking world is to love still and to love more. May it be so.
Lay down your burden, I will carry you. I will carry you, my child, my child. Lay down your burden, I will carry you. I will carry you, my child, my child. 'Cause I can walk on water, calm the restless sea. I've done 1,000
Friends, suffering, darkness, and death will never have the last word. But that doesn't wipe the tears away or make the pain any less real. Jesus weeps with us and calls us to hold space for each other's tears and be a safe space to tell our stories. The healing for broken hearts in a heartbreaking world is to love still and to love more. Go in the peace of Christ, and may the love you extend in this world bring peace to others. Amen.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope you found a space to breathe, a faith you can believe in, and a God who believes in you. Visit us at bendfp.org. There you can get more information on who we are and what we're about. You can learn about how we're trying to make a difference in this world and how you can partner with us and support us financially. Or you can make a prayer request. Until next time, God bless.